Today we will be learning about the process called mitosis. So mitosis is a kind of cell division, that is equational division, which is a kind of asexual mode of reproduction in some bacteria or another prokaryotic organisms. Also, it is a mode of cell division in eukaryotes and highly developed organisms. Now, when we take an overview of the mitosis process, it is a process of cell division that occurs in somatic cells. So, we know that mitosis is a process which occurs in somatic cells, that is the normal cells, and not in the reproductive cells or the vegetative cells. Now, it consists of the four main stages, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. These are the simple four steps of mitosis process. During mitosis, cells' chromosomes are replicated and divided equally between two daughter cells. So we know mitosis is a simple process in which a single cell is getting divided into two cells, and the chromosome materials, everything is being divided into two daughter cells. Now the first step is the prophase. So in prophase, two main things happen, that is nuclear activity and cytoplasmic activity. The first one is chromosomes condense and become visible under a microscope. Chromosomes condense in a sense. We know DNA okay. We know DNA is a long thread-like structure which is being present in the cell, and if this elongated structure is present in a cell like this thread, so it becomes difficult for the DNA to get a place in the nucleus of the cell, right? Okay, so for this purpose, this DNA is being condensed into structures called chromosomes. They are being condensed into these kind of structures called chromosomes. Okay, so in prophase, main thing which happens is chromosomal condensation and becomes visible under the microscope. Spindle fibers form and move towards the opposite poles of the cell. So this is a nuclear activity and this is a cytoplasmic activity in which these spindle fibers form and move apart towards the opposite poles of a cell. We know this is a cell and spindle fibers come out of the cell organelle called the centriole. This is a centriole, and from which arises the spindle fibers, and nuclear membrane also dissolves. The next phase is the metaphase, in which this is the second stage in which chromosomes align along the equator of the cell. So microtubules attach to the kinetochore of the chromosome. Spindle fibers move opposite poles attached to each sister chromatid to the chromosome. So I'll explain this whole process. In the metaphase, what happens is, this is a cell and chromosome, that is chromosomes have become condensed and they align at the equator. This is the central region, right? So at this equator they align in such a way, they come in a line, and then yes, microtubules attached to the kinetochore of the chromosomes. We know spindle fibers were being formed from the centriole and they attach from both of these poles to the kinetochore of the chromosomes. Now what is a kinetochore? See, this is a chromosome. Here this is a centromere, and on the centromeres either sides two structures are present which is called as a kinetochore. Okay. The next stage is anaphase. This is the third stage. So chromatids are pulled apart by the spindle fibers. Fine. And then cell elongation begins as the two poles move apart. Then the last step is the cell membrane begins to constrict. Now I'll explain the whole process. See, In the metaphase, all these chromosomes were aligned in the equator region. This is the equator region, and the alignment of chromosomes took place in the metaphase. Now it's time for the anaphase to proceed to its activity. That is, the chromosomes, that is the chromatids, get separated and move towards the equator. Okay, so these chromatids moves on this side and this chromatids on this side. Separation of chromatids takes place in this phase. The last step, that is the fourth step, is the telophase. Chromosomes reach opposite poles of the cell. Nuclear membrane reforms around each set of chromosomes. Nuclei reappears. So in this region, what happens is the chromosomes reaches on either sides, and what happens is this is actually a kind of reverse prophase. In prophase, what happened is condensation and spiralization of chromosomes took place, and here in telophase, what happens is decondensation and despiralization happens. Okay, now concluding with this, the mitosis is over, and cytokinesis is the final stage in which the whole cell itself divides. In animal cell, a furrow is formed between the two cells. So okay, this is all about mitosis, which is the process of cell division. So we discussed about the four main steps of mitosis, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and then the last one is cytokinesis, that is the division of the two cells, separating the whole of the two cells. And okay, that's all about cell division. Thank you.